podcast.
Well, hello, everybody. It's Extreme Gaming Podcast, episode 231. And with me today is one and only one other person, but it's a good person. And he is...
I'm Trev and he's Gray. I'll introduce him as well. He didn't introduce himself. Done a good job, Gray. Good. It's lots of buttons and things to push people.
Lots of buttons, but we got it going.
It's nice to be back.
Trev and I are taking turns being, kind of in the host seat per se, even though we're both hosts. And so I'm broadcasting it from my abode here in the USA. And everything, seemed to go fine. So if I occasionally turn my head, I'm not being rude. I'm just kind of looking to make sure everything's running properly over there. But in any case, it's May 30th, 2024. And as I said, Gray and Trev are on. Gray also. That's good. Trev also has a podcast other than this one he'll tell you about real quick.
Yes. The Trek Way. It's going all guns. And I would like you to tune in if you like Star Trek, because Gray and I over the weekend are covering the season, the finale of Discovery, the last ever episode, and tiny heads up, Gray, it was absolutely fantastic. So come by and watch our short review and then our live review on Sunday, 8 o'clock GMT, and say hi to Gray and I. And Gray's got a podcast as well, I believe.
Yep, and mine's only once a month, but we'll probably be doing it towards the middle to end of June, and we cover entertainment in almost all its forms, whether that be DC, Marvel, Star Wars, or many other things like Fallout and other different stuff that we cover. We even cover a little bit of the industry and how they're doing and the trends, etc., that we were doing, especially last week. So you can listen to that. We'll make an announcement when that happens. But for now, we're going to go ahead on with the gaming podcast. There's a few things we have. I want to remind you that if you want to submit a question for us to answer, you're more than capable of doing that. But join our Discord first. You will see a link, or you can just do a search and look for Extreme Gaming Podcast. You'll see us pop up on many of the distros out there for podcasts and so forth, as well as on YouTube, etc. And look for the Discord. Join the Discord, and you'll see. Besides everything else that's going on, we got a bunch of different rooms that cover gaming, computer tech, sports, our Star Trek, our entertainment talk, and everything, all on the same site. It's a really great community that's been going about 8-9 years strong, that our good friend Nick started, and we've kind of picked up the action. So please join, and when you can ask whatever questions you want, and we will put the questions in our notes and get to them when we do a podcast like this. No reviews right now this time. Sometimes we do have some podcast reviews, and I didn't have any really ready, and there wasn't anything really new per se. But when there is, and if you do drop a review for us, we appreciate it. And when you do drop the review, more than likely we will put it on the podcast as well and read it out to you and give your on-air name, so to speak. So we'll kind of just roll into it. We have a bunch of things to cover on the gaming front, many different things actually. We're going to start out with Trev first on some news, and then we'll move into myself, etc. So Take it away, Trev.
We mentioned last week, but Nick isn't dead, by the way, people, for those that maybe didn't watch. He's alive. He's a bit like my manager, the guy at my work who founded the company about 6 months ago. He basically retired to go off into the sunset with all his tens of millions, and he got someone else to come in, but he's still a founder. So that's why we gave Nick that role, because it reminded me of him. So he's kind of just gone off into the sunset and enjoying life. And also as well,
where did
thanks
the
to
just come in there. I just want to know.
He invented the company. He brought it up from nothing. So and we went to the stock exchange. We IPO'd. So he's worth a lot of money. Just a thanks to Just a Nice Guy for the cheeky sub during the credits. And thank you for the compliments on the choice of music. It's an upgrade in Nick's, isn't it? It is, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah,
he's there. Nick's in there. Hi, Nick.
Trev did some hard work on that one, because he needed to find a proper mix that would sound very much like what we used to have, and he was able to find it. We did a little editing, and so it sounds pretty good.
Yeah, and it's Matt just came in with a sub as well. Thank you very much, Matt. Cheers,
Hey,
mate.
Matt.
Appreciate it. Mr.
Thank
Irish
you.
Guardian. Right, yeah. So, he's out metal detecting. I'm reading the comments at the same time, Greg. It is just the two of us today. So the pod might be a little bit shorter than the 2 hours, but I mean that's just because one or two people couldn't make it. So don't worry, we'll
But you
probably have
never
more
know
numbers
because
for next week.
we've been known to go 2 hours. So just
Well,
talking
yeah,
about whatever
we can
garbage.
waffle.
That's for
We
sure.
can waffle. That isn't a problem. It's the quality of the waffling. It's got to
Yes.
be at least a 7 out of 10. Otherwise, there's no point.
Yes. We have
So
high quality waffles. Yes. That's
a high quality waffling. Yeah. So I've got a little bit of news as well. I do have a game to at least give you my first impressions on, not a proper review because I
mhm.
haven't. I've done a grain, just played a little bit of it, but I'm not going to pass it off as a review. I'm just going to say it's initial impressions, so that I'm not called Grey Gamer 25. Who plays a game for 20 minutes and then that's it, reviewed.
No, that's not necessarily a review. I like the
Um,
first impression idea. That's good, and maybe a second. Yeah.
well, see, I didn't. Hellblade 2 last. I played, I don't know, like an hour or 2 hours of that last
Oh, see,
week.
that's what I do.
And yeah, but then I couldn't play no more. I was like, I'm turning this off. This is a movie. This is
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
This is not great. I turned it off, man. But yeah, anyway, so oh god, look at him. Nick, by the way, Nick, you see that mug that he's got, and I'm not talking about the one on his shoulders. I'm talking about this one here. This isn't from your red bubble. I would take him to court and get him done and sue him on damages when you still owned the company. You never gave him permission. He just
I
went and
got it
done that
done.
himself.
I got it done
Rude.
better and faster than Redbubble. And they virtually can
Right,
do
right.
anything. We made
That's
that.
enough of that's
Yeah.
enough of my love life. Let's move on. Right. So COD, Black Ops. Right. Love it or hate it. I know a lot of people are going to go boo, sucks, but they sell tens of millions of copies of this, or maybe not tens of millions, but certainly millions of copies every year, regardless, Gray. They rinse and repeat every single bloody year, and it seems to work. I never paid for the last one, Modern Warfare 3. The second one I got for free when we went down to Insomnia. Rest in peace, Insomnia. And Nick's very bitter because he didn't get a free copy of that. Nor did he get a free... Oh, did you get a free keyboard? No, you didn't get the keyboard and the mic either, did you? Anyway, cheers, Nick. And the new Black Ops coming out, I'm surprised it's going to be called Black Ops 6, which really confuses me because, like I said last time,
What was
I
it
don't
last time?
remember. Yeah, last week I mentioned it briefly, but there's more official information being confirmed about it now. That it is 100% coming to Game Pass. Now, if you remember when we were talking about it with Hans and Shifty last week. Oh, by the way, Shifty got his wires crossed. He'll hopefully be back next week, so we'll have more numbers. Could have came with a better name, but yeah, another one I do have to get up. What?
Well, what was the whole reasoning?
Oh,
behind,
the name.
Yeah. What was the whole reasoning
Yeah.
behind changing the name like that?
Well, the
Or
last
in your
I
opinion,
checked,
I guess, or
well, we got to Black Ops 3 or 4 last time. I don't recall us ever getting close to 6. Like, I don't... Matt, you might be able to tell me, or someone. They always mess with the numbers. Right. Okay.
Well, they also didn't they start COD back to #1 again after so many years. They of the older games that all started at 1, 2, 3, Modern Warfare, COD, and then they started at 1 again or something, right?
They were remakes. That's what they were. Even though the originals were not out that long ago, but they remade them anyway. So okay, fine, whatever. But Black Ops, listen, I'm not into COD anymore. I haven't played it for quite a long time, but Black Ops 1, 2, and 3 are some of the finest games I've ever played. That had the whole zombie arc in it, which was it started as the free game back in Black Ops 1, and then they turned it into a trilogy of stories. Actually, thanks to Shifty telling me about this last week, I watched about a year ago the video they done with all the voice actors, Rick Toffin and the other guys, Dempsey, that all met up, and they would just and the famous guy, Gray, that does the voices, he done them for Uncharted. What's his name?
I don't remember.
Anyway, all four of them were there, and they were given their iconic lines from their zombie characters, and it was just so emotional, man. Because that was me as a young kind of a younger guy growing up.
That was the year where they had like zombie everything. They were doing zombie versions of lots of stuff.
So good, so good, man. It was a story. It was a whole campaign. It was nostalgic. Anyway, but yeah, Black Ops 4 2018. Jerry's saying Black Ops Cold War 2020. Right. Okay. So they didn't call it Black Ops 5. They just called it. Right. Okay. Cold War. That makes sense.
So they skipped a number, but that was 5, and then they decided to call this 6. So that's how that worked.
Right. Got you. I mean, it'd be nice if they actually. Yeah. Why could they not just brush off? Why don't they create another subgenre of COD?
They could have just called it Black Ops 5 and then Cold War. I mean,
well, they could have, but I mean, why do we need to go to 5 or 6 games? Why don't we call it Black Ops Grey Gamer?
Yeah,
or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Do that. Even though I don't play the game.
I don't want to play that game. I don't want to play that one.
I'd like to play the campaign because I always hear that the campaigns are generally good, but because it's more PvP, the campaigns are extremely short. So they're only like 4 hours, 5 hohours, whatever.
Which is ridiculous for a shoot 'em up, but it should be a little bit more than that, to be honest with you.
Like I bought, I think it was Call of Duty, the World War II one that was out a few years ago. Because I had heard that the campaign was supposed to be good, but I never ended up playing it. So I still haven't yet.
World War II, that was a while ago.
Yeah, I know. They because everybody was saying, why don't you do another World War II? Because they did one long ago, and then they came out with that one.
Oh God!
And then they went off of that one and went back on to whatever.
Just to make it even more confusing, Cheney says Black Ops 6 is considered the 7th Black Ops game, so who knows what they're doing. I mean, all they're doing is Black Ops is a license to print money.
I'm thoroughly confused now. Black Ops 6 is really 7.
I've got an easy obvious question to ask you, anyone in chat and Gray.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Microsoft would have bought Activision, okay, for less money, but if the COD brand wasn't attached to it? Do you think they would have said yes or no?
Yeah. They would have bought it for less
money. They would have said yes. They think you would have they still would have bought it without COD.
If COD was not there,
yeah,
I still think they would have bought it just because they want more, production houses, etc. But they would definitely have lowered the price, probably by a third.
I don't think they would have, and the reason being is they wanted it for two main reasons unofficially. COD was one of them, and the second was Candy Crush. No, I'm being serious.
I know. Candy Crush is very big. I get it.
Massive. And their mobile games division, Activision have, And in fact, I'll be honest with you, Microsoft should... Sony are releasing their games on, for the moment, Steam, but they have to pay 30% to Steam or Valve. Mm-hmm. Why don't instead, Gray? Now, I know people are going to hate me. Another launcher. Who was it that said it last time, Hans? Another launcher? Or was it Shifty? I can't remember. They've already got a launcher. It's the Blizzard app that's got COD on it and Diablo 4 and stuff. Just rebrand that to like the Game Pass launcher. It's a really that was a shit name, wasn't it? Game Pass launcher, and just brand it Microsoft and put all your games in that. You don't need to pay 30% to anyone. I'm just saying
they can call the GPL Game Pass Pass launcher.
The GPL, yeah, that works. Yeah. Just don't say the words out.
Each time they improve it, it'll be the GPL 2, 3, 4.
Right, there's all the Black Ops games there, the Chinese. So they're not all. They don't always have a number beside them. Now. Jesus, right, okay, yeah, it was never the same after Black Ops 3, man. I'm telling you, Cheney. Telling you. And Cheney's the legend, by the way.
Sorry,
Cheney's the legend. What we forgot to mention at the start as well was on the Discord. If you remember back in the day with Mr. Nick, that horrible me bot thing was in there, and no one really liked it at all. So we got rid of that, and because Gray had the ownership of the Discord transferred to him in the States, he's able to take full advantage of the official Discord subs. So it's all like above board and kosher. And there's a few different tiers of them as well that replaces what we had before. The usual, your own emoji, you're further up the list, you get a room to yourself, all that kind of stuff, and it's obviously the thanks and loyalty that everyone's been shown in the past. They can be found at the top left of the Discord, and Cheney's right up there at the top. So thank you, Cheney, for your continued support, mate. It's appreciated.
Cheney's a super supporter. We only have one. That's him.
Yeah. Oh, you can find that in the product section as well. That's a. We should just call it the Cheney tier in honor of him.
There you go.
He's got a gold badge beside him. So, yeah, where were we? So, yeah, COD Madness. It is officially coming to Game Pass. They haven't said anything about pricing, but I guarantee you, Gray, there's no way they release that in October, November and keep it at the same price, which is, what is it in the States? It's like £11 here or something.
Usually.
No, a month.
Oh, on the $10. It still is for now.
Oh, actually, no. Is it? No, it's. Oh, sorry. It's £9 for us and $10.
Yeah. Now they have the Ultimate Pass, but that's only for people that have both PC and console. So they do the Ultimate. I think it's 17, and then you get both the console and the PC.
The Ultimate is so not worth it because you kind of need to be using at least two of them to make it worth your while.
For me,
I don't play on the go.
98% of the games I play is on PC, so I'm not doing that.
I don't play phones on my mobile phone. I don't think you do either, Gray.
A little bit, but not
odd game on your iPad.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so I'm kind of the same.
I mean, we've been talking about Game Pass going up for a long, long time. So my only hope is that they don't jack it like what was it? Ubisoft. Ubisoft jacked it up like $5, to where now it's like 17 a month when it used to be like 12 or whatever it was. And I make a point now, both with Game Pass, but more so with Ubisoft. I immediately cancel I don't do a self-renew, where they just renew it automatically. I do it. Yep. I will renew myself if I want it. I'll let it die because I'm not going to pay that every month unless I have enough games that I'm playing, regularly. So same thing with Game Pass now. I've been doing the same thing. I save money. I turn it on. It's on right now because I was playing some games on it. And as soon as it's over, unless there's other games, I will just shut it off.
Yeah, quite a few people are doing that at the moment as well within the Discord community. I would normally do the same as you, Gray. The only reason I've still got it at the moment is because I got it backdated. Microsoft has still not patched that. I say patched as in it's a flaw. They probably are aware of the process and don't care. What I mean is, I'm not doing anything dodgy. It's actually all above board. You take the old gold Xbox currency that you had before, and then you convert. You just buy a shit ton of that and convert it into Ultimate. It only converts into Ultimate Grey, not PC Game Pass, the top level. And then you pay for 1 month outright to do the conversion, and you can stack that up to 3 years. Now, I went back recently to try and top that up, and I don't think.
Well, there was recently an article on what you do, and they outlined how to do it. And I believe when I was reading the article, it's not quite as good as it used to be, but it's still worth it. But the way the article was reading, or the steps you had to take, you had to jump through some major hoops and make sure you did it all correctly. Otherwise, it just won't work.
Well, see, when I was doing it, you actually went to the Xbox redeem site in general for anything you buy code-wise in the Microsoft website, and I would literally just keep redeeming it, and you would get it. You go to CD Keys and buy a pass for whatever it was. It was a lot cheaper, and you would do that 5 or 6 times, and you upload these codes, boom, 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 so it stacks up, and then you just go click on convert, and I've got about 2 years left, 2.5 years left. So I may as well. I'll get around to playing Starfield eventually, I think, to be honest with you. But
I do want to go back to it. It's kind of interesting that you mentioned Starfield as a side note. Now, I have not gone back to it since I originally did, but I'm hearing from many people that the game is definitely better than it was. Not where it should be, but better than it was. And they put some patches in it now. You can travel in vehicles. Supposedly the light speed travel is better, et cetera, et cetera. So we'll see.
It's better. What is it? What's better about it? Is it a pathway drive or something?
I don't know. I have no idea exactly because I haven't really played it.
That's a Star Trek thing.
But there were so many mods that were already loading into it to get over a lot of that stuff that the game was already getting better if you know what mods are about. To which I'm going to talk about a little bit later.
Yes.
We're taking it to the next level. We're going to mod to the next level.
He's got his own section now. Let's see if we flourish or collapse and burn. burn up. So there probably will be more tiers to that Game Pass later on. I can see it happening. I don't. They wouldn't. They'd just be losing money. It's imagine that paying $9 or $10 a month for all this access to these games and CODs in there.
I would think that what they're going to do is probably keep the 10, but then when new games come out, you're going to have to
bring
up it to like 12
one.
or 13 or,
See if they increase it a couple of pounds or a couple of dollars. I'm not against that as an optional tier.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not against that. EA has 2 tiers. Yes, we're getting that's exactly. You've hit the Gray's mod corner. You're not far off, Cheney.
No, you're not far off
at all. And as well, we found out something. I found out something interesting recently. Where's Hans right now, man? He'd love this. Half of Sony's current console gamers, half of them are still on PlayStation 4.
Really?
That blows my mind. Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Despite selling a load of PS5s, half of them are still on their PS4s.
And they're getting ready to put out the new one eventually.
Well, the PS5 Pro is rumored to come out at the end of the year.
Yeah.
So I'll probably get that. But
I was thinking it was maybe a third at the most, and you're like half. Holy Toledo.
I think it's because there was a big shortage for a while, and people just get used to sticking onto their own consoles. And even when things started to ease up, they were like, I'm just going to continue playing with the 4 because I'm happy with that.
That's a shame because playing things like Horizon Forbidden West when it came out on console, definitely a huge difference between PS4 and 5. I mean,
it's not awful in PS4, man. Especially the PS4 Pro. It's not. Did I play it on that?
I've seen the side by side comparisons. I mean, especially with games like that or God of War, etc. It definitely looks better on the PS5. It just
it's going to. It's 100% going to. So that's why. Maybe not to. It's maybe slightly frustrating because it doesn't progress things on as quickly as it should. That though the new COD will come out on last gen as well. They're still keeping the last gen going, man, which is absolutely bonkers. So, a couple other little news things as well that I found out are pretty interesting. In fact, credit to Gray for this one. I wasn't 100% sure about this one. I had to investigate it. But good find, Gray. Fallout skins for COD. I like this idea. I like the idea of going about in a blue jumpsuit, and I really hope that you get little voice commands that you can say, Greg, because I really want to just say okie dokie while I blow someone's head off.
Why not?
Okie dokie, bang. Right, that's what I'm talking about there. So that'll be coming soon, probably in one of the big Modern Warfare updates. I probably give that a miss because I'll probably wait till the next COD comes out. I can play it for free.
Did you see the little picture of what the outfits look like?
Oh, they're brilliant. I love them.
Yeah, they look pretty good. Even the colors of the guns are kind of matching up with the color scheme.
Oh yeah, the guns as well. That's a very good point. Yeah.
You see the blue and the yellow, and we can see it. But if you guys out there want to see it, just Google it and you'll see it. But it definitely they did a decent job making it look like just like Fallout, which is kind of interesting. You knew that had to happen, right? Fallout, everything.
I think for the next time I can show people things on the screen without ruining the cameras. I'll do that next time I've got the stick, Gray, which is pretty cool. Yeah, it's called the Tracer Pack Fallout Vault Dweller, and as Gray says, the gold touches that are in the blue uniform match the guns as well, because the guns are gold and blue as well. It's pretty cool, actually.
I didn't see, the only thing I didn't see Pip-Boy. Why they should have put Pip-Boy like a decal on the gun butt.
Well, maybe there is.
Maybe it's on their back or something.
No, I see a Pip-Boy. Soap is the guy. He's the British guy to the left of the guy with the Union Jack on his hat. Second. Okay. You can't see, can you? Second from the right.
No, I can see it. I'll look at it closer.
He's holding his gun up like that. It is on his arm, so there you go. In fact, and the main guy at the front's got one in his left arm, right, staring me right in front of the vest. So there you go.
Okay.
Right. The other thing is a little bit I'm slightly bitter about. Still in Fallout, Destiny 2. That's got its maybe last big yearly DLC coming out before the rumoured Destiny 3 comes along. Now, this is a massive update because what they do is Destiny bring out an update out every year, Gray, right? It was like a DLC. It's a decent size. You don't pay another game again. You pay something like $40. £40, you can usually find it cheaper. And then it continues the story on. And what this is doing is this is bringing all the story together to finish the arc that's been continuing for the last little while. Now, while it looks good, the DLC has leaked already. Some players were able to, over the last few days, get into certain areas that were cordoned off on the DLC when they were playing normal Destiny 2. I don't know why, but someone's majorly mucked up because people are posting spoilers all over Twitter's and
smart
X's.
game hackers out there.
Well, I don't even think it's necessarily hacking. Sometimes people can poke and prod at certain bits in the map and get through. If you jump a certain way, sometimes you can actually get in and get sneak peeks of things.
I have a question to ask you. Get your opinion on. Now, do you think that the games company hide those things in there on purpose for people to find it? I wouldn't put it past them.
No, the way it works is this is a massive open type map, right? So you'll have several of them, like the moon and the earth and Mars, and there'll be massive maps, right? And because it's a live service game, what they do is they cordoned off certain sections. So every time there's an update coming out, that they patch it or they put maintenance on the server or something, what they'll do is they'll actually build in or upload the latest build of the game, but they'll make certain sections blocked off until a certain time, and then they'll just seamlessly allow you to access it when the new story begins. So they kind of have to do it that way because it's live action. Gray has played Destiny 2 ages ago, but he only touched it briefly, yeah?
No, I played a bunch of it, but that was before the last two DLCs at least. I haven't done.
Oh, it's been a while. You know the last DLC, the last two DLCs were available for free on you don't have the PlayStation Game Pass. They were available for free on there because let's not forget Sony own Bungie now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And because of all these hacks and leaks and stuff, well, not hacks, nothing's been hacked. Because of these leaks online, just a few days away from it launching, this is already delayed it got delayed from February till June, this DLC, because it only comes out in February. And if the Bungie board don't hit certain targets, they're getting their P45, which is the document you get in the UK when you've been fired. They'll be. I'll need to close that blind in a minute, man. My God, I'm going to heaven, Gray. Look how
You're
bright
glowing.
it is. Oh, it's sunset time, man.
Can you close it easily? Or?
I'll get it in a minute. So yeah, if they don't hit their targets, Bungie will just come in and rip up the board and take full control. So their jobs are on the line there. So this is the first year I think that I will not buy that DLC because I haven't even completed the last DLC, Gray.
People but is that the reason, or is there other reasons that you don't want to do it?
No, the main reason is people. A lot of Destiny players are just fatigued with what they're seeing, and what they've been playing for a while, and it's not been. The story hasn't been as great recently, so I probably will leave it because I know I'll get it way cheaper not long after, and on top of that, if I wait 6 months or a year, probably a year, I'll get it for free anyway. So
yeah, and on top of that, we lost Lance Reddick, which played a great voice.
Oh no,
that kind of hurts too, you know.
Yeah, the guy that was he Hawthorne? I can't remember what his character was. I can't remember
either, but he was so good.
See, our very own son in Scotland. Yeah, you're a funny guy, Merkin. Yeah, he's hilarious. Savala, thank you, Killer.
Yeah, it's beginning to look like Florida over there. I have the sun right over here.
He did pass away, and I remember our very own Taz John. He told me that some of the guys in the game, it was a bit cheesy, but also sweet at the same time. They all went up to where the character Savala is on the tower and done like a guard of honor kind of thing for him. Kind of sweet, and had a little party. I wouldn't do that because it's just a game, but it was sweet nevertheless. So yeah, fair play. This is a little. We're not really surprised with this, Gray. I read something that was literally earlier on today that we know the Fallout games were doing pretty well after the Fallout TV show, yeah?
Right.
So the guy that runs Bethesda Game Studio, Todd Howard, has said that Fallout 76, the latest game, has now surged past 20 million players. And that's in part because of the Fallout TV show. And as we know, Microsoft are expediting the next Fallout game, rumored to be Fallout 5, because otherwise, as Gray and I would joke, Gray would be no longer with us and I'd be Gray's age by the time it came out. So,
Exactly.
do you know what I mean? And Gray wants to be able to play it in his lifetime, so come on, Microsoft, get the finger out and give it to another studio. Because New Vegas went to Obsidian, was it? And they done a cracking job with that. That's on my to-do list. I haven't played it yet.
I wonder what that means for like Fallout 4, because 76 came before Fallout 4, correct? And I think so.
No, Fallout 4 then, Fallout 76.
Oh, was it? Okay. I thought I had it was the other way around.
Carry on, 2-6.
But I guess it's because Fallout 76 was multiplayer, if I remember correctly. Beyond 4. I mean, I don't know. I prefer the
76
TV
show. Fallout 76 is the only multiplayer game so far in the franchise. I think, again, 4 was first. Yeah. Matt's on it. Fallout 4 I've played a bit. Fallout 76 I've played a decent amount. My parents loved holidaying in Scotland and always got good weather. Can you tell them to just come like holiday here all the time? That'd be great. I'd like some. It's been 2-3 weeks of solid rain until today. Yeah, and the last thing, just to mention really quickly, I haven't played it yet, but I was inspired by Mr. Shifty Hands. Last week he was talking about Project Zomboid, Gray.
Yep, I remember.
If you remember that.
Yep.
And I just looked at that and I went, me dum-dum, me not good at this game, I think I'll probably die over and over again. Probably I won't play it. It's went on sale though.
Mm-hmm.
And it's at the moment on Steam £11.22 or $13.39. And I just pulled the trigger and bought it because even if it's crap, what is £11.22? It can't be that awful. So I'll get some value out of that. But yeah, some game news. I do have a game to talk about briefly, like I say, in a bit. But before I get to that, Gray's got some of his own articles to discuss.
Yep.
So what are you doing in front of you, Gray? What are you doing in front of you? What are you looking at?
I have an iPad in front of me.
Ah, that's your third screen.
Yes, I can see the notes.
Do you know what you should do, by the way? I've got an iPad mount. I don't use it anymore. I'm not going to send it to you. That'd be too expensive. You get iPad mount that will place it to the other side of where your monitor is at the moment. You've got one screen to the left, don't you? Or is it the right?
I got one to my far left over here.
So you could place one over there on a mount and then have like 3.
I was thinking about that because I even have a program that if I wanted to, I could extend my desktop onto the iPad as well as the... Yeah, they have a program there's a program that does it.
It's Windows. On Mac, it's seamless, but...
No, they have a little program that you can put on the iPad. I tried it. It actually works. It was pretty interesting. But yeah, I'd have to get a mount. Actually, this is a Secret Labs table, and Secret Labs just came out with an attachment for an arm to hold actually up to a really big monitor, bigger than the one I got, to this steel desk that I have. So they keep on coming out with parts to fit on the desk. So I may do that because I think it might be worth it,
Well, anyway, Bersing does the same thing as you, man. He does the exact same thing as you. What? He's I don't know if he's got the exact same desk and chair as you, but
with the iPad maybe.
Yeah. It makes sense. I mean, I've got 3 monitors that kind of... You need at least 2 monitors when you're doing the streaming thing, man. You really do.
Oh yeah.
And that's why Gray's not like got something wrong with him when he's doing this. He's just having these iPad down here and monitor over there, whereas I've just got them all just like...
Yeah, the iPad, I mean, is at least it's close like this. This one, is definitely like right there. Anyway, CD Projekt Red has officially ended development on Cyberpunk 2077. So nobody else is going to be working on the game any longer, and there won't be any more DLC beyond what they already put out, apparently. Well, actually, let me back up on that. They said the studio is now focused on Project Orion, which is going to be a sequel to Cyberpunk. No more DLC for Cyberpunk, but they are working on a sequel game. And then, of course, as we all have heard, they're working on Project Polaris. I don't know why they're calling it that, because everybody knows it's a Witcher game. So everybody's calling it Witcher 4. And that's also going to be coming up. All that's going to be built on Unreal Engine, so they're junking their own engine that they used for years. And they decided to go ahead and jump to Unreal Engine 5. Side note thing, too, even though we're going to talk about the mods in a minute, they did release finally, after 9 years of Witcher 3, they released their mod pack for people to use and change the game any way they want. And from what I'm understanding, it's like the best mod developer pack you've ever seen. And all the people that have already done thousands and thousands and thousands of Witcher 3 mods are going gaga because they want to get it and do two things. One, make their existing mod work properly and better. And two, just coming up with a whole different thing. I mean, apparently with the developer kit, you can make whole new quest lines and everything. The only thing that would bother me a little bit about that's kind of cool, but you would have to use existing dialogue that the actors did, because you can't go hiring the actors to do new dialogue. So
yeah, true.
So and I did see some gameplay of, I think it's Hunter Mod, I believe it's called. Looked really good. But you could tell, like, because I played the game a lot, you can tell they're popping in the different things that Geralt had said throughout the regular game, and and which is okay, because I'd rather hear Doug Cockle doing Geralt than having somebody else do it. It would just kind of like break the immersion or whatever. So apparently they're going to be working on all this stuff. As far as any time it's going to be done, your guess is as good as mine. It's going to take probably years. One thing they did say, that because of the bad experience they had with Cyberpunk 2077 when it first came out, is they said that they're not going to make any kind of real announcements until it's very close to being finished. So teaser trailers might not happen for at least a year to 6 months before it's supposedly going to come out. They're going to really keep it to the vest, because they got burnt bad last time. So none of that any longer is going to be happening. So that's kind of cool. There'll be I am willing to wait for if the game is as good as Witcher 3 was, and so that's what I'm kind of hoping. I mean, whether it happens or not, we're going to see.
Quick shout out to Hanks UK for the sub, by the way. Thank you very much, man. Appreciate that. Love you a long time. Yeah, great. The Cyberpunk thing. Have you played it? Actually, have you actually played? So I played it a little bit, but it was one of these games I was still to get to, like Starfield.
Played what game? Sorry.
Cyberpunk.
Yeah, I played for 2 hours and then I couldn't take it.
Because it's really bad at the time.
It was really bad at the time, yeah, and I never ended up going back to it. So yeah, we'll see.
Well, I will, and I think I've even got the DLC because I got it cheap as well. The Phantom Liberty, I think it's called.
I heard it's great now because all the bugs are gone, supposedly.
It's like it's another No Man's Sky, isn't it? It launched, it was a disaster, and then they patched it and patched it and patched it. And then, yes, no game should launch like that, but credit where credit's due that they fixed it for free. And No Man's Sky as well keeps releasing free big DLCs for years now, so respect. But Cyberpunk runs so much better, great. But like DLSS 3.0, frame gen on, it just looks really good. You can actually get a decent frame rate. But the thing you're talking about, Witcher-wise, who's the chap that voices him in the game again?
Doug Cockle.
Doug Cockle, right?
But there's they haven't said anything about whether Geralt is gonna. It's not a Geralt Witcher trilogy that they're doing.
Is it not Geralt?
Geralt, whatever.
I'm sure it is.
Sorry. So Geralt.
I'm asking because I'm not a Witcher. I'm not taking the piss. I was genuinely asking.
No, I know. I get it. I do that all the time. But they said it's going to be another trilogy, so there'll be 3 games. But they did not. But they did not say that the game is centered around Geralt. It's going, but they also didn't say that he wasn't gonna. He may or may not appear in it. So he may appear in it, but he would appear in it in being part of a quest line or something, or a couple of quest lines where he would appear. But the main character is going to be another Witcher, different Witcher. I think it's a Witcher from a different house too. I think completely.
Yeah, it's Liam Hemsworth.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but we'll see. So
if you see the trailer of the Witcher TV show,
yeah,
he only get a teaser of him. He does look mostly like
he does.
Henry. To be fair, and he's not an awful actor, but he's just not Henry, is he? So
to give the guy a fair shake. I'll wait until the show comes on before we, chastise it.
Is this the last ever season, or are they doing one more with Liam?
There's 2
after
so it'll be season 4 coming.
2 in total.
Yeah, and I don't
wrap up in 5
and 5 after that. Yep.
There isn't a date been announced for season 4 yet. That's just the thing.
Yeah.
It'll probably be the end of the year again.
Probably,
no doubt.
They're going to stretch it out.
As well. Sure. This Mr. Cockle guy, still find his surname hilarious. While I'm sure he's very good in all what he does, I just spend a little bit more money and get Henry to come and voice the character, please. No, come on, just
hey, look, if we're lucky and maybe we do get Geralt, it'll be nice. But I can't see how they can't bring him back. They got to bring him back at least a little.
Well, I would like to.
It's gonna make sales. All I gotta do is sit there and say like, oh, do a teaser trailer where he walks on or something like that, and everybody's gonna go buy the game for sure.
So, great. Before you tell us about your Summer Game Fest article, it reminded me of there is a Sony State of Play in a couple of hours' time. It's like 12 or 1 o'clock my time. Which there's like a bunch of games going to be announced at that. Sony tend to do their own separate thing because they're like Billy Big Balls, they don't want to be seen with the riffraff, so they do their own thing. And there'll be a bunch of games coming up for that. So if anything juicy comes up, I will probably talk about it in a fortnight because I don't think Gray wants to talk PlayStation games next week when I'm away somehow.
I don't mind. I mean, as far as
anyway, Summer Game Fest with Jeff Keighley.
Well, before we get to that, I did this last pod, I think, or the pod before, because a lot of times people tend to say like, well, there's not that many games out, and last time I showed that there was a lot of games that came out in May, and now there's a whole list of games that have come out or coming out for June, which is hard to believe, but they're there. I'm not going to read the entire list, but just to give you for instance, I mean, 48 means that you're coming out with a game on an average of more than one a day.
Someone subbed. Someone subbed, Gray.
Okay, I didn't see it in time. Thank you. Who was it? Oh, it was you. I wasn't expecting you, so I'm sitting there going like, wait a minute, what?
I mean, to be fair, I thought I may as well. It's funny. There you go, carry on.
We subbed to ourselves. So anyway, 48 games means that there's more than one game a month on average being released the entire month of June. So there isn't a lack of games. Now, granted, there may be a lot of them that will be indies, but other ones, there's still some. So, for instance, Dead by Daylight, Dungeons and Dragons is June 3rd. Elder Scrolls Online Gold Road is also June 3rd. On the PC and the Switch is Wakuzi. I think it's how you pronounce it, Wakuzi. That's on the 3rd. Destiny 2 is on the 4th.
What do you try to pronounce? Oh, I don't know that one. Pass.
And just believe me, you're not going to know a lot of these names. That's why I just kind of throw them out there because I want people to realize that
you're not reading all these, mate, are you? Please,
no, I'm not reading all of them. But you may want to take a look at this and do a little Google because there's some games that you might want to check out. I'm going to try to. I think both of us, but I'm going to try to make an effort to play a couple of these games that I see on this list. Even though they're whether they're indie or not, just to see what's going on or what's out there.
Right.
There's a game called Rolling Hills, Make Sushi and Make Friends.
That sounds awful.
On June 4th. Ghost Teen Escape from Limbo. Okay. And another simulator game. And this one sounds really, I don't know. It's called Autopsy Simulator.
Why?
I don't know. But can you imagine sitting there like, oh, great, you know? So for people that are going into that career, I suppose that game might be kind of cool, but I don't know.
There's simulators for everything, Gray. And Hanks in chat, no, I haven't tried that Galactic Air and Game Pass. It's like Theme Hospital in Space. Right, okay, I'm going to play that. I'll maybe try and play it for the next time I come on. That could be fun. Yeah.
But there's a couple other games.
Crab God, and PC. June
did
20th.
you know
Crab God?
Did you know they made the Tour de France a game?
Tour de France.
Tour de France, yeah, that's a game, and it's coming out.
Tour de France, not France.
Monster Hunter Stories. Let's see what else. Horror Tales: The Beggar, Blood BLUD is coming. Soul Mask and a few others. So there's
the big stuff out. Read the big stuff out, man. So June 18th.
I don't know about big stuff. There wasn't a lot of big stuff per se.
Yeah, there is. June 18th, Warhammer is 40,000 bolt gun. Warhammer's a big deal.
Okay,
that's out, and that's certainly. But you're right. There's not many big games on that list at all.
Yeah, and some of them I've heard of, and some of them I don't. I mean, let's see. There's some coming up in the following months too, but there's a whole list of them to go through, which we're not going to go through every one of them. But I'll try to point out some of them each week if I can. And I would urge people to go out and try some of the indie games and stuff, because if you think there's no games and you're bored because there hasn't been, there's actually plenty out there, and and you can take a look at some of the YouTube videos to see if you want to get a review on it. But they can't all be bad. I mean, I'm not saying there isn't going to be some bad ones, but they can't all be bad.
Gray, are you going to play? Are you going to buy and play the Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree because you played the original game, or you bought something
I did,
online?
I never finished it. I only got maybe, I don't even know if I got a third of the way through that game.
Too difficult. It's not fun.
Yeah. I started getting to the point where it was getting too frustrating and stuff after a while, and that was even using a couple of cheats once in a while. It still was frustrating.
You cheated and you still didn't complete it. Oh my god.
Well, I didn't do God mode stuff. I tried to do just something that would give me a little more hit points or something, and to give me a half of a chance. And yeah, instead of dying in one swipe, I died in like 4 or 5 swipes. Which really didn't help.
I'm seeing if there's any more games in that list. Final Fantasy 14 Dawn Trail, that must be a DLC.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a DLC.
14's an online game, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Frostpunk 2. I played the first one.
Mm-hmm.
It's bloody hard, that game. Really, really hard, that game. The second game's coming to the Xbox Game Pass for free, so July 25th. And
you're already in July now.
Else.
I was talking about June.
I mean, how these go on for?
Oh, it goes on and on.
That's why the rest of the year. Let's sack that off, Greg.
You don't want to pass June. We got July to carry next time.
Sack that off, man. Yeah,
the only thing I do want to read though is they had done a poll on the games that were released in May, and so they kind of obviously these are some of the more popular games in the bunch, I guess. But people went and voted on them. So in this particular list, in no particular order, Homeworld 3 got 14% of the vote. There's a game called Lorelei and the Laser Eyes. I don't know. Got about 3% of the vote. Wuthering Waves, which I've heard a few things about, it got 21% of the vote. So that might be a game worth checking out. Paper Mario, the Thousand Year Door remake, is 34%. And actually had most of the vote. So it was kind of the winner in this poll. And then there was Animal Well that got about 11% of the vote. So those...
And Hellblade 2 got 11%.
I'm sorry, Hellblade 2, you're right. I missed it, sorry. So those 6 games basically are considered to be the better of the bunch that came out in May. I have Homeworld 3. I will review it on this show soon, but I got so many games to play, man. I'm in Horizon Forbidden West Burning Shores. I got Tsushima I started, which is pretty cool, and I want to play more of that. And I talked a little bit about
Here's an idea for you. Here's an idea, right? Don't overwhelm yourself by buying all these games. Instead, right, Ghost of Tsushima, for example, is not going to go up in price.
Right.
Play some of your other games first that you want to play, and then just get that. I know you've already bought it.
Yeah.
I'm meaning for the future, buy it like a few months down the line. You'll get it cheaper and you won't feel pressured. I don't do that. I buy more games if they're cheaper. Like I paid £11 for Project Zomboid I paid £13 for Nightingale, which we'll talk about in a bit. I want to see you play Homeworld, man. I would never play it, but I want to see you play it so that I can drift off to sleep in bed when I'm watching on the TV.
Are we going, wake up, Trev?
And you Gray doesn't know this yet, people, but I'm going to get Gray to... You guys know on Twitch, there is a streamers called the Streamer House. Or is it the Streamer Zone? I think it's the Streamer House. A bunch of different guys use the same account in one house, and they're on most of the day streaming and taking shifts. I'm not suggesting Gray and I do that, but I'm going to get Gray, once he's more familiar with the streaming and the setup and everything, to do what Nick done and just jump in sometimes, and when he's playing a game, just stream it on Twitch. And then sometimes I'll do it, and I'll just fire up Twitch and stream what game I'm playing.
Or we'll find a co-op
no
and
schedule.
We'll both do it.
Or yeah, that's very... I'll have to play a game with Gray again. That's I was scarred after Wolfenstein Youngblood, though. I don't know.
There's more than one reason why we got scarred on that game. Jeez, we thought we were crazy, but later on, that game turned out to be one of the worst games ever.
But I do want to see you play Homeworld 3 in all seriousness. Yeah. I'm curious. So,
last thing was the Game Fest is coming June 7th. This is a 2 or 3 day affair that they do every year. They're going to have a bunch of different events going on. The first night or afternoon, they're going to have a thing called Day of the Devs. Like that name, Day of the Devs.
Oh, that's brilliant.
It's going to be independent games and reveals the entire time. So there'll be some interesting things to see there. There's going to be a State of the Play, which will be PlayStation.
That's tonight. That's in a couple hours.
Yes, that's true. And they're going to be talking about PlayStation games. Although that's kind of a precursor because the fest really does start on the 7th. There's going to be different devs are involved doing different things to see what they're doing on their games and what the future holds for the games or how long some of these games might be taking to come out. So if you just look up summergamefest.com, you can go through there and see all the different things that are going to be happening, and you can participate viewing any of these things if you want. I'm definitely going to be looking at the Xbox Showcase because I hear there's going to be some announcements there. Ubisoft Forward usually always has announcements. We already know one of them, which is going to be the Shadows game. But I hear they're going to be talking a little bit more about their live service Infinity game. So we'll see. So there's always a couple surprises here and there. PC Gamer does their own show too, where they kind of forecast and go back over games that were big. So we're expecting some news to come out of this so that when we do another pod, we will cover this and see if there's what kind of good news came out of it. So that should be kind of interesting. So we will see how far we get with that. In any case,
I had a look at this at the same time as you, and I'm excited about some of these things. There's a lot more than I thought there would be.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to watch the State of Play because it's on at 11 p.m. my time, so it's not past my bedtime. But I'll probably watch a lot of that. The Summer Game Fest and the 7th, yeah.
I'm going to try to watch some of the indie stuff, but I always make a point of watching the Xbox Showcase and the Ubisoft Forward. Those are the two main big guys.
And June 8th, Volvy's 15th birthday party. What the hell is that?
I don't know.
Looks like a potato, man. It looks like Mr. Potato from that game where you have to like.
Is that Brotato?
No.
Okay.
I don't know. But it looks like the potato where you have to put what's it called? Where you put
Mr.
pieces of the potato in it. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
That's that developer digital chain. Yeah.
They're also going to be coming. I don't remember what the date's going to be, but fairly soon, there's going to be a Horizon Forbidden West Lego game.
Oh God! Are you buying that? Are you?
No, I don't think so. But there's been some release pictures of what it looks like. Some people say a lot of the Lego version games are really good. The little bits that I've seen, the thing that I like about it is that they have a lot of really good humor in it. They're pretty funny. So I don't know. I might break down and see what that's all about. Mainly because I like HFW, but we'll see. It might be interesting. Okay. And look, they're trying to cash in on the franchise as much as possible. It's going to be a TV series on Netflix too. No announcement on who's playing who yet. And before anybody says anything, the actor that does the voice of Aloy in the games is not going to be the actress that's going to play her. I've seen her. She doesn't look anything like Aloy. So, unfortunately, even though her voice is superb, it's not going to happen. So we'll see.
What were you trying to say, Grace? She's not attractive enough. Is that
no? Actually, she's good looking. No. It's just not. She just doesn't look like Aloy, and they want.
She's not a redhead. It's amazing what a wiggle
She's not a redhead, and she doesn't have the facial features of Aloy. So,
oh right, okay.
So they really can't do it, because I was thinking like, wow, that'd be cool if she could do it, and it's not going to work.
Cheney was saying that's the developer direct that I was getting confused about, Mr. Brotato guy. That's the developer direct. Right, okay, that's a big deal then. But fair enough. Okay.
I'm glad there's some things happening at that fest, because I had heard before the fest was going to happen that it was going to end up being pretty boring and people weren't going to be showing up and all this stuff, and now it seems like it is still going to be happening, and it sounds like it should be a good show. So we'll see. We'll see. So I guess Trev, you're up next on a game you played.
Yes. This is the Grey Special. Played it for 20 minutes and reviewed it. No, I'm joking. I played it for a bit longer than that.
40 minutes.
Like an hour and a half or something, just to get first impressions, because I've been so busy. If it's not work, it's been behind the scenes stuff for the Discord and the Twitch. I know now how much work Nick had to do for that before. It's a lot, and it'll get less as time goes on and we fine tune things, But we're getting there, and we're committed. And
when there's two of us doing it, it's still a lot of work.
Yeah, but we want to keep the Discord and podcast at minimum just as good as it was before, if not even better. So bear with us, people. It will get better and better. And if Gray can nail it first time, there's a little treat for you at the very, very end of the podcast.
Oh boy!
If not, I'll get it from you. So I'll give it to you at some point. So the game I played, I heard about this a little while ago, a few weeks ago, number of weeks ago actually, called Nightingale. Right? You might have heard of that title, and it's just a first impression. So please don't consider it a full review, because it's far from it. I got enough time in it to do the equivalent of the starting tutorial and get used to things, and before I'm released into the big bad nasty world. This game is a little bit batshit crazy, I'm not going to lie. It's a little? It's kind of, just a little bit. It's kind of like Enshrouded meets Rust meets an acid trip or a mushroom trip, all kind of combined together.
Okay.
So basically, you start in this world, and it looks stunning. First of all, absolutely, it's beautiful, and for the most part, it runs pretty well. Not quite as good as Enshrouded, but it runs pretty well. Gorgeous looking game. You do need to make full use, Gray, of DLSS 3.0 frame gen and that kind of stuff to try and get some high frames, because I always play in 4K high settings, so I like my eye candy. And the best way to separate this from, say, Enshrouded has magic in it, but this seems to be more, it got some magical RPG elements to it. So you start with this guy called Puck, as in a hockey puck. That spelling, right? He's got a weird name, and he looks like a futuristic leprechaun. It's the best way I can describe him. It's the best way I can describe him.
What would make a unicorn futuristic? That's interesting.
Okay. Tell him the morning, tell you agree. No, he doesn't have an Irish accent whatsoever.
Lucky Charms.
I've just insulted Matt and the whole of Ireland there. Sorry. He's a little floating kind of character that literally is your guides at the start, at least anyway. And he is called Puck, and he gives you some background of what's going on with the world and the story behind it, and the realms are at peril and all that kind of shit that you always get. The realms are always in peril, and it's up to you to save it. And you start and you go through a few different biomes. First one is like a forest, and it'll teach you how to craft simple things like, to begin with, a fireplace, and then you pick up berries and you can cook the berries and you can get bigger buffs that way. And you're kind of, when you see your character, he's got like a hatchet in one hand, and his other hand is free hand, and you can use that for other things like holding berries if it's food, or holding magic, or heal, bandages, that kind of thing in the other hand, and he switches between them. But I was kind of trying to skip ahead of the game, Gray, before I was supposed to. I wasn't supposed to be murdering any animals. I went and killed Bambi and Bambi's mum.
Oh no!
Sorry, I done that. Yeah, I done that.
And what
But
happened
then, because I jumped that far ahead of the game. Well, no, I jumped ahead of where I was supposed to be. I didn't have the knife to slice her open and wear her as a coat. So, that's what I get for jumping ahead. So yeah, you learn the mechanics and stuff, and then you go to the second area, and that's teaching you more things. You have to learn how to put like a mini base up, a basic shelter, but this time it's in the desert, and every time you pop out of shade, you're getting melted. You don't last too long.
Of course.
So I'm like, okay, I need to stay in shade. I need to time myself. And then there's one little flaw here. You have a health indicator at the top. Underneath looks like a water indicator, and underneath that is food, right? Now my water, or I thought it was water, was going down, down, and down. So I'm like, shit, I'm going to run up to the water and just have a drink, right? Pressing E, pressing F. I can't drink any water from this lake. I don't understand what's going on.
It's a mirage.
And then I have to, well, a mirage, yeah, it is in the desert. So I go online. I was like, listen, I only do this if I stuck. So I was like, Nightingale, how to drink water? Like, how I'm going to die? How do I drink water? And it said, thirst does not exist in the game, only hunger. That is your sleep meter, and if it's very low, you're about to pass out. And I'm like, oh shit, blinking. I'm like, no, run back to the shelter, quick. But before I could get to the shelter, passed out and died. You don't just pass out and wake up, you pass out and you die.
So it doesn't matter if you're thirsty, but it does matter if you stay out too long.
Yeah, there's no thirst in the game. Right. It's early access. I have to add that in, by the way. To be fair,
but the food is though game. Apparently.
No, the game is early access. There is no the food is the only thing you can. Sorry, yeah, the food is the only thing the consumable you can have in terms of food and water. There is magic and stuff as well, I believe, that I've still to get to. So then I make my little base thing, my little hut thing. I don't know what it's called.
How was the? Says, well, I know you didn't get that far, but how was the building?
Well, from what I've done already, it's not as good as Enshrouded so far. But I mean, I've still to delve in any kind of great depth. To be fair, it's not there yet. But again, Enshrouded hit the ball out the park with their game. That they could have released that as full access. I think, and got away with it. Yes, they had to expand it more, but see what you've already got in early access with that game, Grey, with Enshrouded. That is enough to be a full release in my eyes. I wouldn't have been sad, because there's enough of it, you know. But yeah, so the back to Nightingale. I decided to go up and pick a fight with the wildlife. I done it the last time. I took out Bambi and Bambi's mum. In this one, they are the equivalent of Groot from the Marvel Universe on steroids. It's literally...
Really?
Like think of a tree trunk, but
like
with all its roots. No, like a tree trunk, but showing all its roots. Instead of being under the ground, the roots are like feet, like legs. Like it's walking about, and I'm like Groot, kind of. I'm Groot. You're hilarious. Vin Diesel gets paid a fortune for saying that.
I know. He says only one sentence and gets paid.
And he gets paid a fortune. I don't understand that. So yeah, I thought I need wood here, so let's go up and like hack it. So I did. I hacked it, and it got a bit pissed off at me, Gray, and it started chasing me a bit, and I'm running, screaming like a little girl. And then I thought I was away from it, and what it done is it like sent some kind of pulse under the ground towards me. And right in front of where I was standing, luckily I stopped just in time. Like tree branches or like a mangrove type thing popped up from under the sand.
Roots.
So if that literally hits you, I'll take a lot of your health off. So I was like, okay. So then I decided to go and pick fight with the rest of the wildlife in the desert. There was these little metallic things flying about. I went and smacked that just because I was bored. And then I ran away to the portal, because once you build what you need to build, you can move to the portal to the next realm. So I was up, smack, ran like the clappers, put my...
Wait a minute. Did the portal just pop up, or did you have to build that too?
No, there's a portal in every realm.
Okay.
So you just get to it once you've completed what you need to complete. And you have these cards, they're like magic cards. So depending on what cards you put into the machine for the portal, that will take you to what realm you're going to go to, or what biome. So I thought, I'll whack it and run to the portal, put in my cards and activate it. But because I was cocky, he killed me before I could activate it. So, and when you die, I don't think you lose your stuff, actually, because when you go back, you see your death marker above your head, right?
Right.
But there's no bag or anything underneath. There's nothing for you to pick up. I think you still have the contents on you, so I don't get the point of the death marker. Mm-hmm. You can't do anything with it. So,
wait a minute. So they mark where you die, but it has no.
Yeah, that I can make off. Yeah,
that's weird.
I don't get it either, man. It's bizarre. So, I get to the last realm, and the last realm is building things like bandages and more weapons, and you have to... Now, what I found this pretty cool, you have to collect bones. So I'm going about literally knocking out little life forms that I can get and taking their bones. And then you have to make some... if you get enough bones, you can make the heals from that, along with like plant fibers make heals. And then once you get something called essence, and I'm like, what the hell is this essence? And I'm looking around for a while trying to find out what it is. I can't find out what it is. So again, I have to unfortunately refer to the Googles, because I can't find the answer. Mm-hmm. How do you get this essence? And it says you break things down, and it took me a while to figure this out. So I went to a nearby tower. There's lots of chests and stuff. It's kind of got that enshrouded vibe to it. Taking stuff out, and I just break it down for essence. So you absorb stuff. You absorb their essence to make shit, which I found pretty cool. So that you potentially could build a lot of cool stuff in this game. And then I got to the end of my tutorial bit, and he sticks you into the world to get ready to go. It's a little bit buggy in certain places. Like when I actually... So I think I was in a training zone. I know it was the training zone to begin with, great, like the tutorial. And you can play this online or offline. So I played it online. And when it put me into the final online starting world, what happened was I noticed the frame rate taking a bit of a tanking. You can... Wake up, Gray.
I'm here.
Wake
Don't
up.
worry. I'm here.
Oh, I'm watching your eyelids. I'm watching his eyelids. He's sleepy. You're sleepy.
It comes with age. I'm not sleeping.
It comes with age. I'm not sleeping.
I can't go like this. Hey.
Oh god! If you could see this, see this, people.
Now that you've been playing the game, though, is there a game that it compares to? Maybe
Enshrouded, for sure.
Right, but you were saying not as good. So, what would be your overall opinion?
I
mean, how much did you pay for it again?
£13. So now, bear in mind, this is on Steam.
Right.
This is on Steam from something like £25 to £20, right?
Right.
But I went to CD Keys and I saw it for 13, so it's even cheaper than the sale on Steam. So if you're interested in that, maybe go to Steam, because we done really well when Shrouded, so I thought I'd try this out and get a hold of it. Hi, Lord. A wild Lord has entered chat. Hello. So it is slightly buggy, but bear in mind early access and all that, and because it's actually the online world with other players, there was traders and stuff I saw there, and you could make a starter base and all that good stuff. It looks stunning, the game, though, even better than the Shrouded, dare I say it.
So it's worth the £13, but...
Oh, hell yes. Yeah, you can't go wrong, even if it was crap after that. I mean, what are you losing out on?
£13 of crap.
What? Just... Oh, I can fix that for... Don't worry, Lord, I'll fix that. I'll get the quiz, mate. No, I haven't seen that.
I was talking to him about it earlier, so I didn't know whether he DM'd me or not.
Ah.
Did you DM me, Lord, or did you DM both of us?
Lord, DM me, can you please, mate?
it'll
I'll
be
pull
easier
it
for
up.
Trev to see it because of what I'm doing right now.
Because he can't touch the main screen. He will break the immersion. So yeah,
right.
I'm going to play that. I'm going to play this a little bit more, and we'll see how we go. And maybe I can give a better review in a few weeks' time. But at £13, man, what have you got to lose? It's very promising so far.
I saw the game trailers on it. And I thought it looked interesting. I just didn't want to pay that price. But
What price?
The price was higher when it first came out.
25. It would be $25 or $30 max for you when it came out. Probably like $25.
Yeah, now it's more worth it. See, 13.
Well, for you. So see the keys? That'll be like $15, $16 or something
like that. Yeah.
You know, you've got enough games to play anyway. You've still got home worlds.
I got plenty.
Anyway, so the new section, at least Gray's naming for this podcast.
I want to congratulate Cheney because he said Gray's Mod Quarter, and that's exactly what it's called. So good guess. So this will be a semi-regular feature that I'm going to talk about every once in a while if I think there's a good mod out there. I usually deal a lot when I do mods. I deal a lot with Nexus mods, and if you go on Nexus mods, you'll see a lot of stuff. But what really impressed me was, do you know how many downloads they've had since they came into existence in 2005? So it's been
69.
Not quite 20 years, right? They've had 10 billion downloads. Not million, 10 billion downloads. And I'm like, holy moly. And I'm sitting there looking at the rise of mods from 2005. They had a chart, spreadsheet chart. So you're sitting there looking at it, and it just goes like this, whoop, until all of a sudden you see this year they're up to 300 million downloads alone in just this year. And I'm like, wow. So that's incredible. I knew there were a lot of people like modding and things, but 10 billion? I'm like, geez.
That's a very impressive figure. Very, very impressive.
I would urge anybody, even if you just wanted to look at it for fun, you go on there and type in almost any game, PC game that you're playing, and I'll bet you there's probably some kind of a mod for it. There could only be one or two mods. There could be many. I think I've told you all before on this podcast that when I did Starfield, because of a lot of the things that I didn't like that Bethesda did, I loaded 21 different mods in the game, and just about every one of them was all quality of life stuff that they just didn't handle properly. Some of them, like really kooky ones, like you go and talk to some of the NPCs, and they look like they're on drugs or something. Their eyes are like super wide open, like this, and they're staring at you like this, like they're 1 inch from your nose, and they're just going like this, and you're like, boy, you creepy. It's like, and so somebody came out with a mod to correct all that, where it would actually make the NPC stand a little further back, not right in your face, like normal, and the eyes were taken care of and made it look a little more normal. So so you get mods like that just are really most of the mods that I like are quality of life. I haven't played a lot of mods that actually have created open quests and stuff. Now, again, there was a mod that just came out that a lot of people say is great. I believe it's Hunt mod or Hunter mod for Witcher 3. And this particular mod or group of people made whole new quest lines to follow as well. They also changed the combat a little bit. The only thing I didn't like is they were trying to expand a little bit on the Witcher's powers, because he does have some certain powers, right? So apparently now I didn't see it, but in this game he has frost breath. Apparently, that he didn't, because he didn't really have anything with cold before. Now he does. The only thing that I thought looked really kind of comical and I wasn't thrilled with is somehow he was able to use his fire powers, and he made to make a better explanation to understand this, he made a fire surfboard.
And what now?
A fire looking surfboard, and he was surfing this fire surfboard all over the place. And I'm looking at it going like, that doesn't cut it. So it just didn't look right. I mean, there's a lot of parts of the mod that I did see that looked good, but that was the goofiest looking one, man. He would it just didn't work, for me.
No, it's not going to work.
But it is worth taking a look. I'll show you, or I'll tell you another one. I'm playing Horizon Forbidden West, Burning Shores, Now, Horizon Forbidden West.
Finally.
Yes, it's not a very long DLC. But I
No, it
did.
took you long enough to get around to it, mate. Sorry, that's what
I know I've just been busy. But when I got to it, I was looking at the mods, and then one guy mentioned a mod and said more realistic looking, vegetation, characters, hair, things like that. And they said that we remove the orange/yellow haze, and I'm going like orange/yellow haze, and then I look back at it, and I don't think I really ever noticed it before. But they were right. There is an orangish yellow haze that the game has for it to look at us, I guess, a certain way. And I never really thought about it. And so this mod gets rid of that and makes everything look more realistic. And wow, when I started playing it and I saw what the mod did to take away the haze, it looked really good. I mean, everything looked. Her hair looked more like a real redhead would look. The vegetation looked more like real vegetation because it just looked like stuff was lifted off of it. And I was very impressed. So I put the mod in, kept it in, and it looks great. And that's the only mod I have in the game right now, but it really, really made a big difference. So I was very happy. And that was just one simple mod that I put in the game that was easy to do. And the other thing that Nexus Mod does on many, many, many of the mods is they have a mod manager now. And I used the mod manager when I played Starfield because you can actually load the mods into the game through the manager. And the manager makes it very easy because once you load them into the manager, it automatically puts everything into the game by itself. And the other thing that's cool about it is that the mod manager also picks up on the updates. So if there's an update that the developer that made the mod put in the game, the mod manager will say these mods need to be updated, and you just do one click, and the mods are all updated, and then you can continue with the game. So it's much simpler than it used to be, and a lot of the mods are not difficult. Yes, there are a couple out there that you have to go through a couple more hoops. Drop this in this folder and drop that in that folder, which still isn't really that difficult. But it didn't have a mod manager to do that for you. But many, many, many of the mods do work with the mod manager, which I believe is called Vortex from Nexus. And there may be other mod places around there, but man, Nexus has got it down pat. I mean, they've been around for a very long time in doing this. But take a look. I would urge you to go take a quick look and see what you can find. You might find something, that you really like, that you would like to put into your game. And many of the famous games that we play all have mods. And you'd be surprised, some of them have thousands of mods. And they have a rating system where mods that are rated, best or least best or whatever. So, and from time to time on this show, I'll try to let you know what some of the better mods are out there, and what some of the ratings have been on some of them and what games they work for. And I'll get into some of that in the future shows. But it's pretty cool once you get into it.
Would you like Cheney's suggestions, other guesses he was maybe going to name for your Gray's Corner instead?
No, I didn't see it. What other guesses are you talking about?
My next guesses were going to be Grade's Modness. I like that one. That's my favorite.
That's not bad. I might change that one. Or
Mr. Gray's Mod Neighborhood.
That's funny, but well. I think Gray's Modness is better. Yeah.
Modest. Yeah.
Yeah. If unless something else comes better, I will probably try to use that one. Lord said he played Starfield totally vanilla. Oh, you poor guy.
Yeah. So I've responded to a couple of these things because I wanted to know what kind of mods other people put in. Like I wanted to know what Hanks put into his games in terms of Starfield. I'm the same as Lord, right? So. Teach their own. Like, if you want mods, that's great. I understand why people want mods. I don't like them. I'm very vanilla and boring like that. I know. Like, when Starfield came out, I was really looking forward to playing it, and then I fired it up in the computer, and because DLSS wasn't out yet, because they, Bethesda had this partnership with AMD or something. So it wasn't, and the drivers were not optimized and stuff as well. It was like typical Bethesda janky shit, man. Honestly, I'm fed up with it.
Yeah.
I never bothered playing it because the frames weren't good enough. And then after a couple of months, they brought out DLSS amongst other things. I mean, if you recall my moaning from back then, Starfield was missing DLSS. It was missing HDR. This is a space game with planets and atmospheres, and you're missing HDR. It was missing a customizable FOV. That was a few things off the top of my head. It was a joke on console.
Those things you mentioned were the first mods that came out. And they worked.
But they're not vanilla. So what I mean is, I want the devs, the real devs, to actually modify the game officially and bring them in, and then it's not mod, it's part of the game. And so that means I'm not playing a mod, and then it's 100% tested and compatible with the game.
You could also look at it another way. The game was vanilla, but the devs that made the game modded it. It still got modded. Well, look at it this way. If they come out with a vanilla game and they say, okay, here it is, with the exception of patch fixes for things that are, really whacked, the things that they should have added, like the FOV slider, which is like a no-brainer, they didn't do. So what did they have to do? They had to mod their own game to put the FOV in. So technically, even though it was the same developer, they modded the game. It is no longer the vanilla game they put out.
Technically, that is a mod because it's a modification.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's coming from, isn't it? Yeah, you're right. But then if they patch it to not bring in these updates and they're just patching it to fix it and make it better, is that a mod? I don't.
Well, I mean, it depends. Anytime if you really want to get deep into it, and I'm not going to, you could say yes, that's a mod too. But I don't look at it that way, because if it's a fix and there's something wrong, like game is crashing, frame rates are dropping, there's tearing, or whatever, right? Those are things that have to be fixed, with a patch or whatever. And I don't really consider that modding. But when they add an FOV or they add something else into the game that really should have been there from the beginning, then they modded it from the vanilla game.
Mm.
But what I was saying is that the modders jumped all over that right away because they were angry about the FOV. And within hours, somebody had a mod to fix the FOV. It's unbelievable how fast some of these guys work, and they actually are really good. And you forget you don't always hear about this, but there's a lot of ace modders out there that are now working at companies doing their games because they're so good. But the speed at what they come out with is crazy. I can't believe how fast they come out with some stuff.
I don't blame them for doing that. It's just I wasn't in the rush either, Gray, because I had so many other games to play. So I was just like, I just left it. Otherwise, this would never happen with Doom, for example. Oh yeah, there's a bit of news.
Yeah,
heavily rumored at the Xbox showcase that there's going to be a new Doom announced, something to do with Doom set on ancient Earth. Doom Medieval, yeah. And we don't know. We know very little. I think it's almost actually finished, Greg, because it's been 4 years.
Yeah, and they kept it pretty much under wraps. We didn't hear a lot about it.
I love that. Just release it and say, I want it to come out. See if it's out before the end of the year. Mm-hmm. Jackpot, man. I think it will be.
The only thing that I heard was that it's supposed to be more of a prequel to the other Dooms, kind of showing you where the Doomslayer came from.
That's fine.
And more or less how he became the Doomslayer, I guess.
Set before Eternal or set before Doom 1?
From what I understand, it's set before Doom 2016, the first one. So how he got to be the Doomslayer, so it's a prequel to both the last two games.
Right. Okay.
They're not going to spend a lot of time on. I mean, they're going to develop the story to show you where he came from, but believe me, they're not going to waste time. They're going to get into the slash and all the demons thing. So
I love this. Listen, Gray, I love the story of Doom. It's like The Last of Us or Days Gone. I enjoy the gameplay, but I equally love the lore and the story. So give me a good story. Yep. I would like another trilogy of those 3 games. Of the prequel stuff if they've got enough content. Because I said this to Gray before. This is one of the few games that Gray and I would pay top dollar for on day one, MSRP. And you'd get it cheaper. You'd go to like CD Keys or you'd get a 10 off or something.
10% off, maybe.
It's better than a kick in the cojones.
Yep.
So yeah, mods are mods. I was asking Hinks. he's similar to you, but the sounds of it. UI enhancements, as the vanilla one was awful for Starfield.
Sure.
Star UI inventory as well. I'm guessing that's just a basic better inventory because inventory.
I know when I played Fallout 4 a good while back, I loaded a few mods in there. The inventory mod for Fallout 4 was way better than theirs. That made things so much easier. So those little quality of life kind of changes for games, I think, are excellent. You know, when they do it. Even The Witcher 3, I loaded a couple mods into that one. There was a very simple mod that before you went to go fight a creature or whatever, you have these oils that you can put on your sword so that it will defeat certain types of monsters that have certain type of talents. It will help you, in other words. Problem is that when you get into a battle, by the time you figure out the sword you need, and by the time you have to figure out the oil that you have to put on the sword, you're already dead. So this guy came out with a mod to where as soon as he goes to pick the sword up that he's going to fight with, it automatically coats it with the oil, and then you fight. It was a simple little mod, but it really helped the gameplay, a lot.
So you would really love a game that was called Mod Simulator, then basically, wouldn't you? That would be your thing. You'd be all over that.
Yeah, build a mod for a mod simulator. Oh, what?
Mod Inception. Gray, I've got a question for you.
Okay.
Would you rather have, this is ironic considering what we've just been discussing recently, would you rather have lots of time to play games but only be able to buy 2 games a year, or be able to buy loads of games but never have much time to play them? Do you want me to read that again?
No, I get it. I would opt for 2 games. Now I'm going to assume that the 2 games are really good, like let's say God of War, Horizon Forbidden West, or whatever of that caliber. So because a lot of times when I play those games, I put an easy 150 hours or more into it, and then even when the game's over, I go back and do other stuff with the game. So if I had that kind of quality of a game, I think I'd rather have the 2 games a year, and do that.
Good answer. I'm the same, although I've got leanings to the second one as well. So I'm kind of both. I'm like Gray. I should rather as well buy just a couple of games and enjoy them. And I did for a long time, but I found myself more recently getting into that rut that I used to be years ago on Steam, where I see a really good price for a game and I go, oh, I'll buy that. Yeah. Several examples of that: Project Zomboid, Nightingale, and I've really had a game to play. I had a chance to play a game all week.
I think it's hard because when you see a game like you said that's $10 or something like that, and it's a good game, you're kind of like, that's pretty good. Yeah. I always compare it to Epic, because Epic does the free game, every week, and they've been doing it for I don't even know,
and I never
2 or 3 years or more.
I claim them.
Oh man, I have to go back and count, but I'm almost positive I have about 40 or 50 of those now that I didn't pay a dime for, and I haven't played a single one yet.
I don't claim every single Epic game, by the way.
I don't get every single one either.
I will never ever. Some people say claim it because it's free. I'm not going to claim something just because it's free if it's absolutely crap.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Pointless.
It's got to have something at least that's decent that I want to get into.
Tiny bit interesting. Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't have to be maybe 100%, but it's got to be at least whatever.
So I have this to answer my own question, because it's my question. I should be the first point, but I end up being the second point. It's a problem. I would like to be 1, but I'm 2. I'd like to be number 1, but I'm a number 2.
Let's see, if you're getting 2 really good games each year, your chances of getting 2 really good games every year is pretty high. So you're gonna be playing those 2 games for a year, and then and really milking them and having a good time, and then before you know it, 2 more games of that same caliber follow right along.
Yeah.
See, now if your question said 1 game, 1 really good game, then I'd have to really think about it, because as good as a game is, I don't know if I could play just 1 the whole year. That would be tough. It's tough enough with 2, but 1 would be. I don't know.
Mercian, thanks most people are too. Yeah, you're probably right, man. But I know that Nick's one of them that used to buy loads of games that were cheap on the Steam library. Look at your Steam library and see how big it is. There's one thing, but I have to agree with you, man. And Cheney's talking about his best gaming memories. He had when he had 2 games a year, one for his birthday, one for Christmas. Yeah, I used to do the same, man. That was cool. Especially when it was N64 and the cartridges were a fucking fortune.
Yeah.
A lot more expensive than CDs. I played them all the way through multiple times. Now that I have anything at my fingertips, I play a game for 20 minutes and start thinking about the other games I could be playing. That's Grey Gamer 25, Cheney. That is Grey Gamer 25.
Not that bad.
Right,
come on.
he's a 20-minute wonder.
But he is right, because even like the last couple games that I reviewed, I did play for at least a few hours each one, and it was a lot of fun. But yeah, you start getting into that. Now you're going to go like, oh, am I going to go back to finish that? I don't know, because there's other games to try too. So, but there's always the core games that you do spend the time. So I will spend the time on Horizon Forbidden West. I will spend the time on Tsushima. I will spend the time on a couple other ones that are coming, which then pushes some of the other smaller games even further down the list. But
yeah, that's the problem. To go back to Cheney's point quickly, that brings back memories for me as well, mate. It's kind of nostalgic, because I was thinking, were games in proportion dearer back then than they are now? No, they are dearer now for sure. But back then, when we were kids and stuff, you couldn't necessarily buy those games unless you were rich. You would get, like you say, a Christmas present game or a birthday present game, and maybe you would save up your pocket money and buy another game or something, but that was expensive to save up your pocket money, so you didn't do that often. I didn't. So yeah, it would be like your parents buying you games, and then back then games didn't come out. Games came out more frequently back then because of the schedule's a lot more crazy now. But back then, let's say we didn't have the money for it, so you would end up playing those games a lot longer, like Cheney says, inside and out, and you'd be trying to find all the bits you missed and all the cheats. Well, you would, if you completed the game, I'd like to think, then you would do the cheat codes. Remember that up, down, left, right, A, B, back trigger, blah, 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 blah.
That's why I never.
That's the old school cheats, man. This is why I'm not good at fighting games, because all this finger mashing.
I remember all the ones for the old Nintendo, the really old Nintendo games. Jump up, go left, go right, go hit this brick that looked normal to you, but you hit the brick a couple times, and then bingo, you're in a secret room for Metroid or whatever. It's like, wow, okay. That's
it, man. That's it. But good time memories, man. Yeah. We have a quiz, I believe, Gray, to wrap up.
World famous Lord quiz. So we haven't had a quiz in a little while. So we have one. So I think what I'll do maybe is I'll read out the question, and Trev will be ready with the answer, and then we can all try to take a guess, or people in the chat room can also try to take a guess if you wish. So,
would you want to read out one question and then answer, or read out all the questions that we've done before?
I don't know. What do you think? I prefer to read one at a time, but I'll do whatever.
Well, do one at a time, because it gives people in the chat a chance to answer as well.
Right.
Without cheating, I'm watching you guys. I'm watching.
All right. So first question is, which company developed the classic social game Farmville?
Actually, when I said one at a time, I meant all three at once, because then it gives people a chance to answer. Sorry, I made a boo-boo there. Right.
Read that again. You want me to read them all then?
Yeah, read the first one again. Sorry.
You're changing everything. Which company developed the classic social game Farmville? That's number one.
Do you know this game, Gray? Do you know this game?
No. You want to move on to the others, or we're just going to stick with one at a time?
Yeah, go on number two then.
All right, number two. What United States president was asked and declined to voice the in-game president character in Fallout 3?
What? That's a thing? How cool is that? What?
What United States president was asked, but he declined to voice the in-game president character in Fallout 3.
Okay, carry
on.
on.
That one. And the last question is, what games did the famous actor Robin Williams reportedly name his children after? What games did the famous actor Robin Williams reportedly name his children after?
Right. I know you're not going to
move back to the first one?
Yeah, I'm going to find out what year Fallout 3 came out. I'm not going to Google the answer, so I've got something to work off of.
I would think Fallout 3, I would think would Barack Obama.
2008.
2000.
So
Barack
2008
Obama.
must have been. But then it doesn't say if it was current or ex-president. It doesn't say. It just says which United States president. Because after you stop becoming president, you're still called president, which is a bit nuts. So it could be anyone, mate. I'm going to go Barack Obama as well. Screw it, because he's a kind of cool guy that if he'd come out of power, he might have done it then, because it's probably not appropriate for a guy to be in a video game that's the president as well. So
yeah,
do not. So yeah, we're going to go right. We'll reveal the answers one at a time, right?
Okay.
So we're both going to go Barack Obama. If anyone's got any other decisions, answers, put them in. We'll do it. So wait a minute. We're doing this. We're doing the second one, aren't we? Or the first one? No, we're doing the first one. Going back to the first one.
No, we're doing the first one. Which company developed the classic social game Farmville?
Right, I know this one. It's I don't know how to spell it. Is it Zynga? I want to say Zynga. It's a game that I played on. It's a web-based game, I believe.
I played Jenga, but not Zynga.
No, it's Zynga. I don't know how you spell it though.
Zenga.
Do you have any clues yourself, Gray?
No, I have no clue, man. Not at all.
Right, okay. We've actually completely answered these in a completely random way, but it doesn't matter. It's fine. So that Hinks has put that in as well. Hope Hinks wasn't cheating.
Zynga.
Right, so I'm going to reveal it now. Yeah, it's Zynga. It is. I'll tell you how you spell it. The exact way Hinks put it. Zynga. Cool. They are pretty big at the old mobile.
Well, then very
games.
good. You too. You got the name.
Yeah, I think it's the only one I'll probably get right. That's the thing. Right, so number 2, United States President was asked and declined to voice the in-game president character in Fallout 3.
I'm going to say
and we're
Barack
both saying
Obama.
Barack. Right, Barack. Let's see. Do we have any answers? Bill Clinton. Oh, for yeah. After that Bill, you know that thing he done, Monica Lewinsky.
Yeah,
he probably would have fitted right into Fallout 3. To be fair.
It would have worked just fine.
Is that a white dress you'll get on? Oh no, not.
And then
again.
you know what happened? The female character went okie dokie.
Okie dokie.
Well, okay, we missed on that
one. Mercy was thinking BO. Who's got BO? What?
Barack Obama.
Oh, okay. That's not.
That's what I thought, but no.
That's slanderous. I thought he was talking about body odor. Right. Well, what games did the famous actor Robin Williams reportedly name his children after?
This is new to me, man. I didn't know any of this.
So we know this happens in Hollywood sometimes because what's his name? SpaceX guy.
Elon Musk?
Yes, that's it. Named these kids absolutely crazy, absolutely bonkers names after like letters and bloody math symbols.
Or how about you're probably too young for this, but Frank Zappa named his children Moon Unit, and I forgot what the other one was. The other kid,
Moon Unit.
Unit was the girl, I think, and I forgot what the boy was.
So she's called Moon. Then her nickname is Moon, basically.
I don't remember, but hey, Frank Zappa was a pretty cool guy. So who knows?
What famous actor? What game? So it's a game. Would it be? It wouldn't be Jumanji. That was a movie, but that turned into a game after.
It would have to be games. It'd have to be games that were 15 years ago at least, or more.
I don't have a clue. Any clues at all, Gray?
The Witcher 1. I don't know.
But Matt thinks it maybe Link's Zelda.
Could be.
Right, we'll do it then. I have no.
Maybe it's Mario.
I'm going to ready. Oh, half a point to Matt. Zelda, Legend of Zelda, and Cody from Final Flight. I don't know that one. Cody, I've never heard that one. But hey, half a point, man. Well done. Yeah. Zelda's kind of cool. A bit out there. It's a bit trailer park-esque for me, but
trailer park-esque.
Yeah, it is. It's like up there with like Britney and whatever band, you know.
I like that.
And Cody's that's fine. That's the current WWE champ, Cody Rhodes. So
you can get away with Cody on a lot of things.
Well, I think thank you, Lord. You can send one each week if you want to. Gray and I, or both of us, or whatever.
Sure.
And that's us, I think.
Yeah, I was talking to him before. I told him, anytime you want to send something in, Send it on in.
Mm.
It's all good.
Exactly.
Well, we kind of reached the end, more or less, of this podcast. Of course, we will be back next Thursday. I will be on probably with Hans and one or two other people, and you are going to be in Turkey looking for deals. No, I know you're vacationing. I know you're vacationing, but you're going to look for deals at the same time. I decided to actually go to the source.
I decided to actually, instead of pretending I'm in Turkey, actually go to Turkey. In case the tax man comes to me and goes, "What's going on?" I can actually show him my passport and go, "See, I've actually been in Turkey. It's not." So
this would be a real thing. You'd be able to actually really prove it.
I'm going on holiday, Hinks, with
cool.
my mother. So we're going there.
It's a real holiday. Real holiday.
Just a week, get some sunshine because I'm sick of the rain here all the time. So. Yeah, so I'll miss next week. I don't even know if I can tune in to watch, but I'll try if I can, and then I'll certainly be there the week after, again, back to normal.
Sounds good. All right, well, we will be back again next week. We really appreciate everybody out there that listened to us this week. We had a lot of fun.
And time for your treat.
Time for my what?
Treat. The little treat at the end of credits.
Yes, we have made an effort, especially Trev, to get the end credits that we used to roll at the end. So if this all works properly, you'll see it. Hopefully it'll work the way.
If not, it'll work in 2 weeks when I'm back.
Yeah, well, I'm guessing it's going to work. Hopefully this sync is correct, but either way.
It will. Thanks, guys.
Yes, thanks. And also remember to try to join the Discord. If you can, just look up Extreme Gaming Podcast Discord. And please join us. We have a lot of fun like this with everybody in the Discord. So it's a well worth thing to do. So yep. I will go ahead and say goodbye, and we're gonna roll these credits and see if they work. So bye.
I don't want to set the world on fire. I just want to start a flame in your heart. In my heart I have but one desire, and that one is you. No other will do.